Hello, everybody. This is Tony Soto with theQ.co, and today I'm speaking with Fortune Feimster, who is a comedian extraordinaire. Can we say that, Fortune?
You sure can. It has a nice ring to it.
Fortune is actually a featured writer and also a pundit on the panel for Chelsea lately, correct?
I am, yeah. I write for her full time, and then I do the panel.
How long have you been in the whole comedy biz?
I've been doing comedy for about 7 years now, but I started in sketch and improv, so I basically just wore a lot of silly costumes, and it eventually just kind of evolved into doing stand-up, and once I started telling crazy stories about myself and my family, that's kind of when things started to really open up. I'm from North Carolina.
North Carolina. Now, what is that like? We featured you not that long ago and putting up a stand-up clip because I caught it and it was really funny, and it was after you'd come out to your father, and and the way it was just so hysterical. So what was that like, coming out as a lesbian and then taking those stories and using them for comedy?
I was pretty lucky. My family was really cool about me coming out, and I didn't come out until I was older, so I have a lot of jokes about kind of realizing later on in life that I was gay. And so, if I had come out when I was 18, it might have been a little trickier. They were super cool about it. My dad, like I was telling that joke, he just was really nervous about having to have like an actual, real conversation.
Right.
He was just splitting bullets about having to just talk.
What was it like growing up and realizing that you were? I mean, how big was your town, being a small town lesbian?
Well, it was about 5,000 people when I was growing up. It's kind of like it almost is like a suburb of Charlotte, though. So even though it's a small town, we still had that exposure to a city.
Right.
So I'm like part redneck, part classy.
I think that's a wonderful mix. You were actually on the Last Comic Standing, correct?
I was. It was like two to 2.5 years ago, I think.
Now, what was that like? How'd you get into that?
They had actually approached me and asked me to audition for the show, and I wasn't sure because the season that they had before, all of the comics had to live together, and I was like, there is no way that I'm going to live in a house with a bunch of crazy stand-up comedians. They were like, no, it's, this year it's like legit comedy. It's just, we're just focusing on the comedy. There's none of that like reality TV aspect of it. And I was like, oh, cool. Then I can do that. Once they really made it known that it was going to be about the comedy, then I was on board, and I actually had a great experience with it. It was like the first thing that the first exposure that I had really had. So it was a big step for me.
Is that what opened the door to Chelsea?
It certainly helped. It was like, at least that way they had heard of me, so that when I interviewed for the job, I wasn't a complete unknown. Anytime you can have a little bit of something to put on your resume, it certainly doesn't hurt.
Did you start on the panel, or did you start writing right away for the show?
I actually started writing for the show. I had, the panel's a really hot commodity. A lot of comics want to be on it because it's a great show and it's good exposure. And so I had tried before to get on the panel, and maybe it just wasn't going through the right channels because I never got on. I applied to be a writer, and they were like, hopefully it works out that, in time that you'll work your way up to being on the panel. I got pretty lucky. About a month into writing there, Chelsea was like, I want to see her on the panel. It was a really good fit, and she really gets me, which is awesome because I was running into a lot of situations where people in higher positions didn't really get my comedy.
Because, girl, you've hosted the show.
I know. Can you believe it? She was getting surgery last week and asked me to host the show, and my mouth dropped open. I couldn't believe it, but I was so excited, and I don't know. It's just really cool because it just showed me what kind of faith that she has in me, and I wanted to do a good job. I had a blast.
You are coming to Chicago for Chicago Pride, aren't you?
I sure am. I'm performing for their backlot bash on that Thursday night. I think it's the 21st, right?
Yeah, the 21st, indeed. Have you been to Chicago before?
I actually, the last time I went there was I want to say 4 years ago. I played in the Gay Games whenever it was there. I can't remember. It was 2006. I can't remember. But I played in softball. What a shock. And this is cool because I'm going to stay in Chicago for Pride and experience the whole weekend. So.
Oh, you'll be there for the parade and everything.
Yeah, I'm not leaving till Monday. I'm going to harass all of you guys. I'm really excited about the show because, just performing for gay people in general, and not that it's just exclusive to gays, but it tends to be a lot more fun and just a high energy. People are always really excited, and it gets the performer excited. So I think I hope people will come out to it.
We're so excited to have you come, and I just think that honestly, I only know you from YouTube, but I think that you're very funny, and I enjoy your comedy. So we thought.
I appreciate that. I'm gonna be at Zany's as well, performing Friday through Sunday. So you guys are gonna be sick of me.
You're all over the place.
I'm spreading my comedy all over. I'm doing the Pride show through Telefilms and the Backlot Bash Thursday night, the 21st. Friday through Sunday, I'm going to be at Zany's in downtown Chicago.
Well, listen up, Chicago. Be sure to check out Fortune when she's here in Chicago for Pride Weekend. She's a very, very funny lady, and she's a hard worker. And we just wish you all the luck.
Appreciate you doing the interview. It's nice talking to you. I'm excited to hopefully meet you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, good luck with you, and I will talk to you soon.
All right, thanks, Tony.
Thank you so much.